Okay, welcome back to Straight Talk, and we're going to continue our discussion for this first show in 2012 with Jessica. We're basically going to be talking about going back to school, and a lot of students are returning in January for their second semester, or returning for after the Christmas holidays.
So most universities already started now. Like I already started school.
I know, that's really fast.
Yeah,
For universities, yeah.
It feels like, because some people have exams up until like the Friday before Christmas. So it's really like we had like no break, and that's why I'm really envious of most SAGEP students and even high school students, because their break is so long. Like high school, elementary, most of them go back on Monday. SAGEP, they're like the Monday after that. They have they have a month off of school. It's awesome.
I remember SAGEP being very long, the break, like us only starting like maybe the third week of January. I mean, I haven't been in SAGEP for a very long time, but it seems like it hasn't changed like that break. But I remember when I was at Concordia, the same thing, some of us would have exams right up until Christmas Eve, like the day before, like the 23rd or something, and then we would be back like the third, like that first Monday or Tuesday of January.
But I am looking forward to, even though school starts early, finishing the first week of April for my summer.
Yes.
That's always a bonus too, because once April rolls around that you are done, unless you're attending like the summer session or something, which I attended. I actually went through some summers like that, taking part-time, so yeah.
Okay, well, a lot of people take public transit, especially the students here in Ganawanga, to go to school. And then
Do you take the bus and stuff like that?
I do. This is reminding me I have to buy a bus pass.
I've seen you on the bus.
How much does a bus pass cost?
It's so expensive.
Hasn't it? It hasn't gone up this year though, right?
I hope it doesn't, because it goes up almost every year.
Every January usually goes up.
What's it at now?
Well, how much do you pay for like a regular adult price? Do you pay for monthly or just?
I don't pay monthly. No,
Okay.
I pay per trip.
I don't remember the exact price because I didn't buy one in December, but for a student discount, which is like maybe 30% off, it's over $100 for the month, like $113 or $17-ish dollars.
Yeah, but that's for Sitso and the
Metro.
it's the Opus. It's the Opus, which is good for Area 5 or something like that.
Well, we're in. I think we're in like Zone
5.
Zone 5.
Zone 5.
So we can take the Sitso buses. That's from here and Chattagee. We can get on the STM in Montreal, like their buses, their metro, and we can also take the train.
So 100 and so that's doesn't sound bad. I mean, I really
It's
haven't
not bad
taken
if
the
you
bus
use
or
it every
metro
day.
in a couple of years, so I remember paying $20-something for my bus pass during SAGEP days.
When I started SAGEP, I was able to get like the full student discount, which was like half price, and I was paying like $60 for a bus pass for the month, and then once you turn 18, you no longer like qualify, even though you're still a student.
You still get a reduced rate.
Yeah, but you don't get the full
reduced.
Which is it's kind of disappointing, because when you're in the city, if you live on the island, you still get that like half off until you're like 21 years old, where you don't.
And what do you pay like per trip?
It depends.
On the STM, like the metro and bus in the city, it's $3 for adult, and then I'm not sure what the reduced rate is for students per trip.
I have to pay the adult one because I don't like qualify for it unless I get a monthly pass.
Right.
So yeah, $3.
$3.
Get transfers though.
Well, what I do is I buy 6 at a time, and it ends up being $14.25.
And then for
That's not too bad.
the bus in
It
Ganawanga,
has a schedule, and you know where to stop, and it picks you up
but like the bus in Ganawanga, it's like $3. Yeah,
$3.80
$3.80
just to go to Ingrid
per trip.
Wow. That sounds like a little steep.
And the train is even worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, the train's over $5, I think.
But where would you get the train?
Oh, well, at most of my classes are at Loyola campus at Concordia, so there's the Montreal West train station. I usually take it going home and get off in it's in Saint Constant, but the train station is St. Catherine.
I don't want to sound like my parents when we were younger. We used to have to walk in the snow with our lunches, but seriously, on a different note, a similar note actually, when I was going to Dawson in the 90s, we used to have to walk all the way out to the overpass and like flag down the Chateauguay bus.
Auger.
The Auger. And I mean, it was really cold, like in the winter to come all the way, because I like stayed by the youth center, so I'd have to walk all the way out, and like sometimes people would offer rides, and be like, oh, are you going or coming? And but now it's like you guys are lucky in a sense that you get to have spots in town that they could just pick you up, and there's a lot more people taking public transit nowadays, whereas I know when I was going to school, like I'd be lucky if I ever seen anybody else on the bus. I think a lot of the students in my heyday of school were carpooling, who's picking who up this time.
That's still really popular, because there's like there's a population of Gunawaga students who go to like John Abbott, which is way out in the middle of nowhere, or even at Vanier. They carpool a lot because it's easier.
They pay for gas and they carpool.
I mean, I guess the one downside is that now you guys aren't we never dealt with this whole Mercier Bridge issue the way that you guys did. Like, this Mercier Bridge issue was obviously very unpopular over the summer. And
even more so when it's like minus 15 outside.
Yes, definitely. And one of the things that had happened right before the holidays was that there was a article in the Montreal Gazette talking about the Mercier Bridge. Obviously, we had taped our show prior to this story coming out, but there was reports, about the bridge, that on the side now where the union iron workers are performing their duties, if you will, that they had found work that was according to inspectors not very well done, and I guess the Montreal Gazette got wind of the story and did a report on it, saying that there were bolts that weren't tightened properly, or that they weren't
different sizes.
They weren't
missing,
appropriate sizes missing, and things like that. And then you had the NBC coming back and saying, well, we're no longer on that side of the bridge. How do we know our work wasn't tampered with? All of our work has been certified and inspected. And it just like really, we had just been talking about this on the previous show about the animosity between, surrounding the Mercier Bridge, and then a story like this happens to come out in the Montreal Gazette. And I mean, it doesn't paint the community in a very good light. Either if you're union or non-union, the work is still being performed by Mohawk men from this community. And I think a lot of people felt like it didn't really matter who did it. The fact is that it is a reflection of the community, and considering the fact that we have very high standards, regardless of who you're associated with, and a long history of steelwork. So I think overall, the story didn't, really look, I just cast Gunawaga in a bad light, regardless of who had done the work, because I think, we know who's talking about who and things like that. But when the greater good, when the general public is reading a story, they're not differentiating, is this side or that side on phase B or this, you know what I mean? They're not differentiating. All they're thinking about is, there's iron workers from Gunawaga who perform this work. You know what I mean? Like, and that's, that's some of the feedback that I had received, after people had read the story. And then it did cause like this little ripple effect again between, the union and non-union ironworkers. So
I don't know. I think the whole thing is a lot of it is I think misplaced information. You know what I mean? Like, why focus on this when you had the inspectors there, you had the the plans drawn out by and it was just that the guys went and did the work, they had it inspected, they said it was okay, and move on. All right, if it's not up to par now all of a sudden, then like why did it get that far?
Yeah. And who was inspecting?
So what's the problem here?
I think
who was the inspector?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of questions that are still unanswered, but we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we will continue this story. I see Jim giving me the 2-minute sign, so don't go away. We'll be right back after this.